Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic. And today we are playing Dollhouse of Horrors combo deck. So Dollhouse of Horrors is a sweet card that I'm really excited to try out in Standard right now. And there's a couple ways to make this deck work, but ultimately I'm going with the Golgari version. Let's go ahead and just dive into what this card does and what I did to build around it. So Dollhouse of Horrors, 5-mana artifact. You pay 1 and tap it, exile a creature card from your graveyard. You create a token that's a copy of that exiled card, except it's a 0/0 contract artifact. It's in addition to its other types, and it has this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. So it becomes a construct, one of the constructs that Karn makes. So they get +1/+1 for each construct you control, not just for each artifact, which is a little bit different from that. Only for constructs, which does change. Like just having Dollhouse of Horrors won't make it a little bit bigger. Just having other things won't make it that much bigger. But it does get haste until end of turn, and you can activate it as only as a sorcery. So the only real benefit of actually being able to get anything here is making sure that you can actually get value from playing out that certain creature. So there are some creatures that get value right away, like some things that you're totally fine being 1/1s. So like Prosperous Innkeeper, we're already getting as 1/1. If we can just do that every single turn, that actually gets to be quite a bit of value. If we have creatures in our graveyard every single turn where we can start getting value, have creatures entering the battlefield, gain life, we can still play out other stuff and just spend 1 mana each turn to keep using our graveyard to go crazy. And that's basically what Dollhouse of Horrors does, is that once we get it on the battlefield and we have at least 3 creatures in the graveyard, we'll be able to play the rest of the deck, making sure that we can get more creatures in the graveyard and just keep having this engine going that the opponent will have to deal with. And that should win us the game, especially if we're throwing out some big threats on the battlefield. If we have things like Cultivator Colossus, which has the ability to already have its power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. So this actually says that that already has that line of text, and so that's its base power and toughness. Or not space power and toughness. It just says that its power and toughness are each equal to those. I'm not sure if this becomes a 0/0, like which one will actually, if it'll overwrite it. I believe that the new one will overwrite it, where it still gets to have the base power and toughness of equal to the number of lands you control. And then this creature the creature will get +1/+1 for each construct you control. So it'll also get a little bit bigger with that. So you actually get a little bit more of a buff. It'll be hasty hitting in. Vorinclex will get a little bit bigger as well, or it'll become a 1/1 with trample and haste. So it's not amazing, but it works really well with Toxrill, which I'm really excited for. So a 7-mana 7/7 at the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control, and creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them. So this is kind of like a board wipe over a couple of turns. So if we can keep having these in the graveyard, keep going off with it, we can do a lot of stuff. The hard part is that we can't fill our deck with too many of these big expensive things, otherwise we can't make the rest of the deck work. We have to find ways to mill cards into the graveyard. We have to find ways to ramp up the Dollhouse so it's a little bit quicker. We can do all this stuff. We can also then ramp up to our big things if we just have them in hand. And then also you have to play a deck that doesn't run too many mythics, because I've already spent way too much money on mythics this one. I don't have a third copy for Toxrill right now. I guess I do, but I don't want to use it for that. And so I try to build a deck that actually works for everything that we're doing here. There's a lot of new cards that are really sweet from this one. We have Undead Butler, which mills cards for us. We have Mulch, which mills cards for us and helps us get lands to hand. We have Dig Up, which can go find either a basic land in the early game, or we can pay the 4 mana, the cleave cost, and get the Dollhouse of Horrors that we need, or Binding of the Gods, whatever we need to make sure that we can survive. We have Dryad's Arrival to make sure we can bring Dollhouse back from the graveyard if we've milled over too many. And we can flash this back from the graveyard too to make sure that we can make our combo start going off. Bolligad Recovery in the mana base as well. And then otherwise, just good creatures, good things that will be awesome. Old Rutstein is actually the one that I'm really excited about to see if this actually works the way I'm hoping for. So it's a 3-mana 1/4. When it enters the battlefield or at the beginning of your upkeep, you mill a card. If it's a land card mill this way, you can carry treasure. So potentially, when it enters the battlefield, you mill a land, you get a treasure. And then the beginning of your upkeep, you mill another land, you get another treasure. This could potentially, on turn 3, ramp you up twice with this creature, and then consistently throughout the game. That's kind of my hope for Old Rutstein, is that it becomes like another copy of Prosperous Innkeeper to get us treasures to ramp up the stuff a little bit quicker. But you also have a chance of milling a creature and only getting an insect, or creating milling over a non-creature spell and getting a blood token. So there's still definitely that possibility with all those, and hopefully we get the 2 lands. The other ones are still good, and it can help us discard cards from our hand to make sure we get stuff into the graveyard. So Old Rutstein is just the perfect card for a reanimation style deck to ramp up the stuff, do everything you need to. It's sweet. So let's go ahead and dive into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. All right, up against MTG Pleb, and I like this. This is a pretty good hand. We have Dig Up to go digging for something. I'm actually not sure if I want to save that to be able to search for our Dollhouse. I want to make sure that we find it. Digging for a land here is always a good way to go. We haven't been able to find stuff yet, but I think that you should use this on turn 1 if you have it. That's just, it's the right way to play, I think. And we have a couple of things to mill with. Hopefully some ramp with Toxrill. Should be pretty good. All right, Undead Butler. Start a millin'. Lots of lands. Mulch might be the better way to go just in general. Make sure you hit the lands that you're looking for. Putting out a body on the battlefield is always nice, but not needed. Florahedron. All right, so Rutstein, let's see how this does for us. Mill a card, hopefully get... All right, so we get an insect. We'll go a little bit aggressive. We can start going a little bit wide here. All right, come on, Dollhouse. Lair of the Hydra. All right, another creature. That's fine. We want those in the graveyard anyway. Let's go ahead and mulch. Looking for the revival now to be able to find our Dollhouse. And the Dollhouse. Are they thinking of countering this? Negates it. I'm kind of okay with that. All right, swing in for 3. And Old Rutstein, I like this card. It's a good card. Like, it's not busted, but it's one of those cards where it's like, you will get value. It just does stuff all the time. You play it out there. It's a cheap cost to be able to keep doing good things. And just these insects up against certain matchups is like, alrighty then. I like that. I mean, I'd like to be able to find something else to play at some point, but you know. Whatever. Down to 12. I mean, this is starting to add up. This is a decent board. They're gonna have to start blocking or play out something big. If they can get up to a coma, Froghemoth is big. Really, they're gonna attack? Has trample, they can exile lots of things. What is this for each creature exile this way? All right, puts lots of counters onto itself. That's bad. Come on, Binding the Old Gods now. Dude, there's a lot of graveyard exile right now too. All creatures gone. Yay. Good for us. And we got a Dollhouse and we can't do anything about it. No. Oh man. All right, so let's go on black here. So end step, we get -1 counters onto everything. Froghemoth will still be kind of big, but we get to kill the blockers with Florahedron. So I think it's this one over the Cultivator Colossus. Oh, I forgot about the slugs too. Yeah, create some slugs whenever stuff dies. Dude, Talk Chill's awesome. All right. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, whenever a creature you don't control with the slime counter on it dies, create a negative 1/1 black slug creature token. Dude, just Old Rutstein into Toxrill is a pretty fun way to go. That's lots of 1/1s out there. Got some Death Etcher dudes. Sure. Sweet. Awesome. That is the way to go. Is it each end step? Wait a minute. I thought it was just our end step. Is this every end step? Each end step they get -1, -1. Dude, Toxrill is busted. Okay, that's cool. I like it. All right, I'm against the guy with a question for the name. Why thick? It's a question I ask every day. All right, we're gonna keep this hand. This is pretty swell. Play out of forest, pass the turn. Yeah, play out the swamp, play out Innkeeper. Pass the turn. Next turn we have 4 mana for Mulch and Undead Butler. Mill 7 cards. Well, find some lands, mill 7 things that we want to. And hopefully we find a dollhouse. I've been looking for that dollhouse. It's eluding me so far. Go to combat, swing in. We'll mulch. It's a lot of cards to hand. Like that's good. that's a pretty good way to go. Yeah, I don't think I need to ramp up the Vorinclex this time. It could be nice, but we're just gonna hold off. Binding the Gods the next turn. Keep playing our lands. Try to find the things we're looking for. In theory, we should be able to find either Dig Up, a Revival, or Dollhouse. Either by top decking them, drawing them, getting a Revival and Dollhouse in the graveyard, or finding a Dig Up that we can then cleave and find the Dollhouse. Like that's the goal. We have, I think, 8 ways to find stuff right now. That's awesome. All right, swing in, down to 17, pass the turn. They take a Vorinclex, and then we get another one, and we actually want them in the graveyard, kind of. It's a lot better with Toxrill. Actually, maybe I don't want as many Vorinclexes as I've been prioritizing here. Down to 15, pass the turn. Memory Deluge, cool. All right, so very likely they're going to be holding up counters at some point here. We have to be a little bit careful. They know we have bindings, so they're going to hold off on playing out any permanents. All right, so we're not going to play out the Huntmaster here. We're not going to play out Vorinclex. I'm pretty sure they have counter spells, so let's just put off enough pressure here. They're going to have to play something at some point. Ooh, there it is. All right, so we have the Revival. We have the Dollhouse in the graveyard. We found what we've been looking for this whole time. Down to 13. Pass. Hopefully they don't counter the Revival when you play that. Unexpected Windfall. I forget that's an instant speed play. That's so good. I forgot all about this in the Judgment, the Cinder's Judgment deck I built. I was like even looking for stuff like this, and I just totally missed it. This is exactly what we needed in that deck. All right, holding up 4 mana. 6. Forces us to discard. We have plenty of good stuff. Those are 3 really good cards. I'm fine with whatever one they want to give us. Now that they're tapped down to 3 mana, Vorinclex has a good chance of just doing lots of damage for us here. Do I want to go for Drad's Revival instead and just keep the pressure going? The hard part is I guarantee this deck is playing some counter spells. And so telegraphing the Dollhouse is a little bit annoying. We came to play the Dollhouse though. That's what we're doing. Bring it to hand. Hopefully, don't have more discard. Hit in for 3. I mean, we're getting in for enough damage. They're gonna have to answer this in some way soon. Expressive Iteration. Yeah, if there's a Hall of Storm Giants, that's not good. They have 5 mana up right now, 6 mana. All right, so counter spells most likely. I'm going to try to play Dollhouse of Horrors. We're not quite to the point where Vorinclex is just lethal, but we're getting close to that point, so I can hold off, I think, a bit. Is that an Alrund's Epiphany? Let's use Thirst. All right, slows down our clock, so we do need to do something here. All right, Dollhouse Force. Please don't have a counterspell. Only 3 mana. Saw it coming. If this sticks, we should be able to win the game. Divides by 0. Okay, that's fine. They get to learn, find something else. Hopefully not Alrund's Epiphany here. That'd be annoying. Down to 8, pass the turn. Haul the Storm Giants and start doing quite a bit of damage. But it taps them out completely. Sciences, gains some life. Finds a land. And still had enough to Epiphany. Of course they did. Of course. Iteration. Finds an Epiphany and a land. Plays out the land. Wins the game. Oh, stupid Epiphany. So good. All right, now. Opponent just passes. You definitely want lands in hand to make Cultivator Colossus actually work. We're going to try for Dollhouse again. It's what we came to play. I want to do it. We always have Vorinclex for later. If they use all their spells for this kind of stuff, yeah. It is really annoying, though. Finds a mascot exhibition. Swing in. Double blocks. We get a creature back to hand, which we can go grab a old Rutstein, I think is what I'm looking for right now. Yeah, because this is still just a clock in general. I could go grab one of the more expensive things, but we have expensive things in hand. I want to play something now when we have the mana to play it. Force him to use more cards each turn and not just keep having answers. All right, get a treasure, pass the turn. Just having more expensive spells is not going to help us in being able to actually win the game. We need to be able to play a big spell and something small on the same turn to be able to actually have a chance. If they want to go for the mascot exhibition, I'm actually pretty okay with that because that means that they're tapping down. Yeah, not going to do it. Hall of Storm Giants can actually come out and block. Does it have... Has a ward of 3. So I can still kill it with binding. Blood token as well. How much mana do I get to hold up here? All right, so go to combat, swing in. Hall of the Storm Giant is one of the things that we're most worried about. They let 2 in. Down to 7. Man, if I can stick this Dollhouse, it's going to be so good. We just can't do anything else besides that. Look, we're still not really on the upper hand. We're still in good shape, though. They haven't really built up their board of answers. They're just keeping the game slow right now. We've already attacked in, so we don't need to do this. Oh, it can only activate as a sorcery. All right, so we do it now. So Toxtril or Huntmaster. I think it's Toxtril because we have actually let's go Huntmaster this time. It's entering, we are getting 2 creatures. The flip side lets us attack in with extra guys as well. So yeah, it's just good. If they aren't playing spells, it's even better for us. And we'll pass the turn. Hullbreaker Horror. Okay, that's fine. So every time they cast a spell, they can bounce something of ours. Oh, that's a little bit terrifying. Expressive Iteration bounces. The Huntmaster's really not that great now, but they've already cast a spell, so it's gonna not go to nighttime. Okay, that's fine. I would love to get to a point where we have multiple of these out in the battlefield too. That would be so sweet. Because then they start growing fast. Yeah, Leer and Hullbreaker. Yeah, this is a combo that I've been terrified of for a while. This is so good because you can keep casting stuff from the graveyard, bounces the back to non-existence. There's a bunch of cheap creatures, cheap things they can cast. Everything's sorcery speed though. There's really not a lot of instant speed stuff. Like that's where they really need stuff. So they had Divide by Zeros. Okay, pass to my turn. I might actually just want a treasure here. Yeah, that's nice. Lands are good. So we know that the first thing's going to get bounced, or anything important is going to get bounced here. All right, so binding first. The only thing they have is Divide by Zero. Oh, that was from hand. So, what's the right way to do this? I can recast the Fading Hope now. Dude, how do we beat a Hullbreaker Horror? Like sticking a Cultivated Colossus is a pretty good way, but yeah, how do we actually do this? Divides by zero, returns a wolf back to in existence. Yeah, I think this one's over. Once they landed the Hullbreaker Horror, I believe it's game over. All right, they get to learn because Divide by Zero actually resolves and targeting something. More mascots exhibitions, or no, teachings of whatever. All right, so play out Old Rutstein. They can't actually play out a spell this time, so we do get to stick it. Not that it matters. Pass the turn. We really need our creature lands. I'm not sure I put him in there now. Now that we're missing him so consistently. I might have forgotten to put in some creature lands, or at least enough. Yeah, having like Lair of the Hydra here to buff everything into. This can only bounce non-creature, non-land permanents. Fading Hope can bounce a creature though. Discards 2 cards, Old Rutstein, and I think 1 binding will probably be enough. Colossus, I'm not sure if it'll ever stick with how much stuff they have. They're running out of instants though a little bit. Oh, exiles the whole graveyard as well. Dude, go blink. What the crap is that? That's such good stuff. With flashback as well. I believe that we're dead now. I think it's just we're never going to be able to keep up with the value they have now. Yeah, if we're having to discard so many times, yeah, we're done here. It's over. It's over. Oh, that was brutal. Up against nothing, man. And if we can find a land, getting into Old Rutstein is pretty sweet. We have some mill, we have ramp, we don't have any of our combo, we don't have the dollhouse. I can definitely get a better hand than this. Let's try for it. We have Dollhouse of Horrors in our hand. That is what we've been looking for this whole time. So yeah, Vorn collects to the bottom. Clasm go. Mulch on turn 2, which is perfect. Help us find lands. Lots of revivals. That can be good here, I guess. Wow. Well, I hope you guys like redundancy. What? 3 Rutsteins. All in one, man. Randomness can be crazy random sometimes. That's for sure. I probably will grab one of those back just to have something to do if I don't top deck anything worthwhile here. Or maybe I find Mulch. There's a land. Land is good. Rutstein is pretty sweet. We have Bindle Gods next turn, which guarantees us for the Dollhouse of Horrors. So maybe it is Mulch just so I can mill more stuff over for the Dollhouse. Yeah, I think we grab the Mulch. Pass the turn. I'm trying to set up the better turns here. We can get out Dollhouse of Horrors most likely on this next turn. Hopefully, or sorry, not the next turn. We hopefully go Binding of Gods and then find a land within the next 2 turns so that we can play it out and tap it down with Binding. That's the reason we're playing Binding, is it's the perfect turn 4 play, so then we can have potentially 6 mana when we play Dollhouse of Horrors and make everything in the world better. And now we have it. Sweet. So Binding. Kill one of these fellas. Please don't have Snakeskin Veil. Dude, every single time I play against a green deck, they have Snakeskin Veil every single time. Like, it's a ridiculous amount. It shouldn't be that much. And they have the answer for our Dollhouse of Horrors. I hate you so much right now. So stupid. What? Just have everything. All right, that's cool. All right. Yeah. Perfect. Sounds good. We don't get the ramp, but I'm fine with that. All right. I can Mulch and Revival back the Binding the Old Gods to have more removal quicker. But we're just going to play out the Dollhouse. Hopefully don't have another one of these guys. Pass the turn. And then hopefully we can find a Troxel. Toxtril? Whatever. The dude. We can check out MTG Assistant to see what we got here. By the way, yeah, MTG Assistant down description below. It's an awesome spell. You guys got to check it out. Or awesome assistant here. Toxtril. That's how it's said. All right. Sweet stuff. We have things to do. Throw this out on black. All right, so we Mulch. Trying to find the best possible thing to find here with this. Revivaling back one of the other guys could be pretty sweet here too. So all we have is Old Rutsteins right now. So yeah, we'll go Undead Butler. More blockers is important too. There's a Toxtril. There we go. And the game is on. No attacks. Everything gets -1 counters onto it. They only get -1 for as long as Toxtral's on the battlefield as well, though. So that's an important thing, too. If they kill it, everything gets buffed. So we don't want that to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, he goes to combat. Swings in. Get some more manas. Block here. This will actually kill this guy as well at the end step, which will give us more slug tokens. Do I want Prosperous Innkeeper just to gain life? I think so. I think we need to go Prosperous Innkeeper here. Don't have removal. No. Lame. Alrighty. Well then. Alright, how much mana am I spending here? So I have Prosperous Innkeeper. I can go grab Old Rutstein, and that's it. I could go find Binding. It's not good enough here. Alright, Innkeeper. Get a treasure. Grab Rutstein. It'll mill over something right away. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use it right away, but it'll still be good. Gain some life. Potentially get an insect here. Treasure. What can I get back? So Revival, grabbing another Dollhouse of Horrors could be fun. We don't have the creatures to actually make it work yet. So yeah, we grab a Binding. Try to slow everything down. And just try to survive this next turn. Yikes. No attacks, pass the turn. So Innkeeper we can have die, we can bring it back to be able to gain more life. I don't really want to do that. This is the hard part. You have to get multiple of these on the battlefield for it to start working. We're probably not playing enough removal here. Take 5. We've already seen Moon Rager's Slash. Yeah, we can't let them have lethal with just a spell. We need to be able to find something really good here. That's the only hope. You are our only hope. Alright, so Binding. Does it have Trample? No. Kill the guy that gives other things haste. If they have another... Dude, the amount of times people have Snakeskin Veils is so ridiculous. You don't typically have that many Snakeskin Veils, people. Normal people don't do that. Another Prosperous Innkeeper. No, we have a higher chance of getting more blockers with this guy, so we have to do that. Gain some life back. Mill a card. Our 4th Rutstein? You gotta be kidding me. What the junk? I finally get Dollhouse out, and this is what... Oh, magic. For the love of donuts. You can't keep doing this to me. I probably should have just found mulch to try to dig for more stuff. Like that probably would have been the better way to go with this. Instead of finding Binding. Alright, so block. Block. Down to 4. Staying in the game. We got this. Stop giving me crap. Okay. Deck. You're not doing a good job here. Alrighty, so we get to mill something over with a Retstein. How much mana do I have? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So enough to grab another Dollhouse and do it again. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna grab a Retstein. Oh, maybe we go Prosperous Innkeeper and then Retsteins gain more life. There's no guarantee we get a creature here, but we've not had creatures in forever. We'll try this. Okay, we get a chance to mill. Come on! I know that there's other better stuff in the deck. All right, Dollhouse of Horrors. I probably could have gone for another binding there. But this, in theory, is going to be better for us overall. To have more things to be doing. All right, so Innkeeper. These become 2/2s now. That's a thing that's somewhat important. All right, next time we're mulching or finding, I don't know, whatever else we can. Gosh darn it. No attacks, pass the turn. Up to 6. Moonrager Slash. Please don't tell me I have another one. Okay, come on. At least we're keeping them off of having... Is that game? It's not quite game. We go to 1. Oh, the other one gets buffed. Yeah. Okay, good game. For the love. If we could have found anything other than all of the Retsteins. I mean, we did find the Toxtril one time, but that was stupid. That was so dumb. Up against Ren 1. And yeah, we'll keep this one. Dig up. I think it's better to try to wait for the Dollhouse here. I mean, maximizing plays. I have this addiction to utilizing mana wherever I can, and it's always annoying. We have Dryad's Revival. We have ways to mill over stuff. We should be able to find Dollhouse easier now. Fast turn. Making sure we hit a land drops to get the binding is a good, important thing. Ram session. Innkeeper. Pass the turn. All right, Undead Butler. There's a Dollhouse. Okay, perfect. Balgate Recovery and Dryad's Revival.
By the look of you, this should be a quick job. I can teach you a thing or two.
All right, we're gonna go for ramp first. Just make sure Kaya goes away.
I'll find another way.
Tokens can get real out of hand. We should be able to outpace them at some point here. All right, so I can just play out Huntmaster is probably the right play here. But instead I'm gonna go for yeah, Dryad's Revival. Grab a Dollhouse of Horrors. And play out Retstein. Playing it before we attack in because they might have tokens they flash in or something like that. Okay, down to 21. I have a Kaya tokens deck all ready to go that we're gonna be playing here soon. I have like 10 decks that are all really good, and I don't know which ones to put up first. I try to keep it really interesting this first little bit when we're starting out with new sets and new whatever. So yeah, I got some good stuff for you guys coming. What creatures do I have in the graveyard? 0 creatures. Bummer. What ways do I have to actually like make things happen? Awkward. Huntmaster. Down to 18. Play out the land, pass the turn. We'll just hold on to this Dollhouse of Horrors for now. Sorin. Okay.
You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
Okay, what creatures do I have here? All right, so go to combat. I actually want one of these guys in the graveyard just for free value right now. So you can attack there. Everything else is going in. Because I'm fine with stuff dying right now. Gems blocks the Huntmaster. This doesn't have Death Touch, right? Yeah, it's not Death Touch. Okay, there they go. Draw some cards. Tokens.
Tragedy befalls us all.
All right, how much mana do I got? All right, let's try this with the Butler first. Probably should know this before combat. Come on, give me flipping creatures, yo. Give me something. All right, we're gonna go ahead and recovery, grab a mulch, I think here. Binding Old Gods would probably be the smarter play, but we came to get stuff out of the graveyard with a flipping Dollhouse. All right, that's some good stuff to grab with Dollhouse. Sounds good. That's the turn. It takes so much to be able to find anything. Professor Onyx, cool, good for you. Sacrifice the most expensive thing.
Open your books to page 17 or something.
Unfortunately, they're scooping right now. Like, we keep not getting there until it's too late. Sedgemoor Witch. Cool stuff. All right, Dollhouse Horse. Activate. Vorinclex is pretty sweet to stop her Professor Onyx, but we're gonna put all of our stuff towards that right now. We don't care about the life total. We want to play as long as possible. That's all that matters.
Great. So much for a new start.
Dryad Revival. Is there anything I want to grab from the graveyard here? Do I want to use mana to do that? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So we'll go ahead and grab a binding right now. All right, come on, make a lot of pests so then we can kill them and make a lot of slugs. I believe in you. They probably have a handful of removal. I mean, like, with everything they've been playing, they should. Had a slime counter. We get a slug. Yes. Digging for the board wipe. I don't even care. We're here for fun. But in the snow. There it is. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. It's what we're doing isn't smart, but we have an answer for this already. I actually think I'll grab the other Undead Butler to keep milling more stuff over. So, there we go. Whatever. Looking for more board wipes. We're looking for more Dollhouse of Horrors now. That's the dream.
Dire times call for dire tactics.
What's the ultimate here? Deals 13 damage, gains 13 life. All right, binding. Kill the Sorin.
Excuse my.
What do we have in the graveyard here? Vorinclex seems pretty solid against what they're doing. Let's get more info. Being able to stop Planeswalkers from actually having lots of loyalty is pretty good. But Huntmaster's just so good. We'll hold off on land. Having lands is actually good for the Colossus that we can end up playing. So we do want to start putting lands in hand so that we can play them out and just draw cards, find more card draw out of this deck. Down to 25 cards left in the library, so for the Rude. And it's exiled. I can't get it back with Revival. All right, we have more in the graveyard. We're fine. Mihik Massacre kills everything. Yep, that'll do it. Gain some life. Yeah, let's go ahead and take action here. I think I actually might just play out this Vorinclex now. That's another way to deal with this. Just like, we have the mana. We can start trying to win now. We've done the Dollhouse thing. It's not as good as I was hoping for. Oh, there it is. There's another one. How much mana does that leave me? All right, we're just going Vorinclex this time. All right, down to 10. They go find an answer for Vorinclex with this. They're gonna bring back a Planeswalker. Watch this. They're gonna bring back a Planeswalker and not realize that it's not gonna have any loyalty because of Vorinclex. Blood in the Snow is probably their best play. So it brings back Professor Onyx. It only has 2 loyalty on it. They can't actually activate the -1 to kill Vorinclex. They can't actually +1 because Vorinclex won't let it go on. Dude, Vorinclex is so brutal. It's kind of disgusting, actually.
Let's go digging.
Oops, yep. And opponent scoops it up. Yeah, there you go. Okay. We got there. We had the revivals to go grab Binding of the Gods. We had the hard lock here where we could kind of go off with it. I was just kind of playing around. It was just a matter of finding something good. But yeah, overall, it kind of works. It does stuff. All right, so we played Dollhouse of Horrors, and it was a lot of fun. Was it really good? I think that it's going to be really, really powerful if you're grabbing the right creatures. I was trying to play in standard and just try to grab the best things possible. Tovolar Huntmaster, Choxeril, and Colossus, I think, are all really, really powerful things to be getting from the graveyard. I was trying not to spend too many wild mythic cards on this deck and try to keep things that were already going to be played or kind of cheaper things in general. This is kind of one of those like slot any card here that does really cool stuff. But you can also just have creatures in the cheaper end that might be the better way to go. Just like have Dollhouse of Horrors just be extra free value, play elves, play whatever else, and just once you have 5-6 mana, you just have a free creature every single turn if you're already playing kind of, stuff in the early game, and just try to get to the point where you have so many constructs that you're winning the game. So like an aristocrat style deck that ramps up could be really, really good with Dollhouse of Horrors. There's a lot of just fun things you can do with it. And so that's the whole point. This is a fun deck. I don't think that Dollhouse of Horrors is competitive in any way right now. There might be some sort of combo with it at some point. I don't know. But for right now, this is not quite there. It's fun. It's hilarious. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. And bye-bye. Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic because in this new set, Crimson Vow, we got a You Win the Game card, and we're going to try to make that work. So, Sinner's Judgment right up here. So, first off, it's the Faithbound Judge, the first side. 3 mana, 4/4 with Defender, Flying Vigilance. If it stays up for 3 turns, it gets loyalty counters or a counter onto every turn, and then it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So, that's pretty nice. It is a 3 mana, 4/4 with Flying and Vigilance. That can be a win con for us for sure. We can just play that out to defend against creatures. It's pretty decent, but mostly we want this into the graveyard so then we can cast the Disturb side. The Disturb side is 7 mana to enchant player. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a judgment counter on Sinner's Judgment. Then if there are 3 or more judgment counters on it, enchanted player loses the game. So enchant the player, wait for 3 turns, our turn up, keeping 3 turns, and then they lose the game. If it would be, and then they can destroy it if they want to, that kind of stuff. So that's the thing we try to avoid. And of course, we have to play the worst card in the world, but Alrund's 50 because it's the best card in the world. Really, really powerful, and it lets us take extra turns, which means that they won't get to take turns, and they will lose faster. That's the whole idea of Alrund's Epiphany, is that we get to take our turns extra on our upkeep. We will put the counters onto it. 3 turns, 3 counters. They lose the game. So that is the dream here, is get judgment counters onto Sinner's Judgment, kill them with that. We're casting a bunch of ways to make sure we can find Faithbound Judgment and put it into the graveyard. We have Cathartic Pyre. I'm playing a Braids because we still need to be able to deal with Esca's Chariots and a couple other things. But for the most part, Cathartic Pyre here lets us draw discard, Prismari Command, draw discard, and ramp, which is great for getting up to 7 mana. Seize the Spoils, draw discard, and ramp. Again, awesome stuff there. Magma Opus, just something else to ramp up into. And kind of just like in the early game, we're just trying to draw cards, find our land drops, make sure we play stuff out, and have just a bunch of instant sorceries, have a bunch of Doomscar removal, all that kind of stuff. And then we have a secondary win con again with Manaform Hellkite, because we're just casting a bunch of non-creature spells. What else do you do? One thing I'm not sure of, actually, and let me know in the comments below if this will work, but if we cast the Disturb side with the Manaform Hellkite out in the battlefield, it's 7 mana, and I'm not sure if it counts it as the Aura Curse side enchantment, like non-creature side, or if it counts it as a creature side, because it's a Disturb. You may cast it for its other cost, but it's the Disturb cost, and you cast it transformed. So I'm not sure if you actually casting the transform side as a non-creature spell, or if you casting the creature side that will then transform. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, just weird things that Magic does. Some big stuff on the top end side because we're ramping as well. Anyway, Magma Opus, Seagate Restoration, Mary's Call. We had Shadowskulls matching to have more things with Metaform Hellkite, and otherwise just the lands to get there. And so that's the deck. Let's go and dive into the gameplay, see how this does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. All right, up against Panhoba, and there is one issue. We have lots of Doom Scars to make sure we have board rights for certain matchups, but we're gonna have to dance around playing Hellkites and Doomscars and board wipes, and so hopefully this one will work out. I like our hand. We have 3 colors. We have spells we can get ramp with, get whatever we need to. More Hellkites. Hellkites are good. Our Hellkites can definitely just win the game by themselves. So that's our alternate win con. We definitely want to try digging for stuff with Prismari Command, find what we're looking for along the way. I think I'm actually playing this out. Oh wait, no, you know what? We're gonna go white mana. We're gonna go ahead and foretell now. I don't want a Fateful Absence sitting keeper. Pass the turn. Now we have a Mary's Call. If we need to bolt ourselves to destroy stuff, we can. I'll probably hold off on it for a while. Prismari Command for this next turn. Kill this. Draw cards. Just kidding. More treasures, more rampage. There is a lot of rampage available. That's for dang sure. All right, pass the turn. Prismari Command. We want to get to Manaform Hellkite. That is the dream. Get it out there, play spells, win games. Esca's Chariot. Okay. It's Destroy Strike Artifact, right? Yeah. All right, so Destroy Target Artifact, and we want to find the Judgment, but we also are kind of all in on this Hellkite right now. Do we just make treasures to be able to do more stuff? We can also kill a cat here this way. It's better to do that. Dude, Prismari Command's like a hard counter for this Esca's Chariot. Why aren't we playing more of this? Maybe that's why the Is It deck is actually a thing, but... So, does it stop being an artifact when it becomes a creature? I wasn't sure how that worked out. Another command. Sweet. Blue mana, Hellkite. Okay, now we can start trying to draw and find stuff. I don't want to get rid of all of our removal. Like, this is the hard part for with me when it comes to draw and discard. Yeah, our deck is built around drawing, discard, finding the right pieces. But I hate throwing away really good cards. I want to win games, you know? Hellkite, dead. Alrighty then. Hellkite number 2. Play this tapped. Pass the turn. I feel like we're in really good shape here. We don't really need to rush it. We're already up to 5 mana. We can wait until we find the judgment before we discard stuff necessarily. And the hard part with these two is that you have to discard first and then draw cards. The things we want discarded is the judgment. We can start drawing through things when we need them, but right now we just hold off. Play it slow. Mihik Massacre. Rude. Put this on red. Prismari Command can kill the Mihik Massacre, which is pretty nice. This one is draw 2, then discard 2, right? Let's go ahead and do this one first. Oh, is this an enchantment, not an artifact? Right. We'll hold off. If they have Estus Chariot, I want to destroy that instead. Pass the turn. We also can kill Faceless Havens and whatever, so holding off is still a good thing to do.
Envy the strong, for they consume the weak. We will slay our enemies.
All right, so damage to them. Draw 2, discard 2. Yeah, 2 to you. And we'll draw, discard. We can Doomscar if we want to here for 3 mana. Pretty good stuff. Pyre. Doomscar?
I will not cry like a
I think I might just need like a Memory Deluge, like something that actually is drawing here for us. Magma Opus is pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and start ramping up to that. Find a land here, play it out, have that in the next turn, or whatever. I think I really want to make a land drop here. I'm fine taking some damage from these guys. Having them hit in with Hydra could be really annoying, though. Maybe getting it to Magma Opus is even more important then, though. Well, we finally found the Faithbound Judgment. Now we can't really discard it easily. All right, pass the turn. That's fine. We got there. We did it. Magma Opus. Now we can discard that with Prismari Command, get it into the graveyard, disturb. Life is good. We can also have it out as a blocker if we need to for Lair of the Hydra, all that kind of stuff. They're going to have to deal with it. Doesn't use the lands. Interesting. I love when people have like 3 creature lands on deck and decide not to use them ever.
darkness will swallow the light. Subservience will be rewarded.
Okay, pass to my turn. Let's wait until their upkeep to Opus. Smashing. I think we hold off on that one. Yeah, so wait till their upkeep. Let them untap. This way we can tap down some creature lands as well. So 4 damage divided at any number of targets. Tap 2 permanents. Create a 4/4. Draw 2 cards. Okay, perfect. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap you. Tap. Faceless Haven. Smith. Not a pay. In good shape. So we're taking 3 damage from whenever their creature dies, which is annoying. We do have to be a little bit careful of our life total. They're going to activate Hive Tyrant here. The menace that they have here is still a little bit annoying too.
Aren't I a gift I will cull the weak.
All right, that worked out for us. We have a 4/4 on board now. Man, this judgment, I'm not sure if we'll be able to get there fast enough. The issue here is that they have menace creatures. Yeah, so they get a hit in for 5 here. And we're going to have to deal with this on the next turn as well. It's rid of the Opus. Cool. Down to 4. Dead to basically everything they have. Dead to killing their stuff, basically, as well. Alright, they gain a life. We lose a blocker. Alrighty then. How do we actually do this? Not a whole lot of mana. Alright, so first off, Prismari Command. 2 damage. Draw cards. Gotta kill this. We're going to take 1 from it. Hive kills us now. Having a blocker won't help us at all. So here's the thing is I actually might need to play out this Faithful Judgment to be a blocker for most of the creatures that they would play, but Hive is still something we can't deal with yet. Discard. I guess Smashing and a land. We lose 1. Can't play another land. Man, yeah. Faithful Judgment. Pass the turn. Yeah, Hive of the Eye Tyrant kills us here. Let's just force him to do it. Yeah, good game. The Menace gets us. Oh no. Yeah, opponent just had a ton of removal throughout all of that there. And, yeah. Oh well. On to the next one. Up against Mr. Almighty. Man. Matform Hellkites are nice. So the way this deck is supposed to work is we're supposed to have the Judgment guy in our hand. We're supposed to have a discard spell to get into the graveyard, and then we just find removal and ways to ramp up. We play that out for 7 mana. We survive, they die. This doesn't have the ability to do that, but it does have Matform Hellkite, which hasn't been working for us. We found the Judge. We don't have a way to discard it. Looky there. All right, well, we have Doomscar, which we'll have to get rid of something to make that work. One of our red sources for Hellkite. So maybe we just drop the Hellkite instead and just try to keep our mana. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop Hellkite. I might even play out the Judgment here. The Judge. Most likely it'll die. We can hopefully find another one to get to the graveyard later. Getting him out there for blockers and then we can Doomscar later is also a good call. All right, red mana, Foretell, Doomscar, pass the turn. Pack leader. All right, we're gonna go for the Judge here. I want to try this out. We're testing it out. We found a way to discard him. We could have discarded Seize the Spoils, got it to the graveyard, but I do want to stop them from getting it for damage in the early game. Up against red-green, they shouldn't have exile stuff, except for Spikefield Hazard as a possibility. But I don't think anything else will be here for that. And so this is kind of just like a hard counter to their deck right now. World of Pack Leaders can be annoying. That's fine. Yeah, opponent just scoops it up to it. Like, it's just like... It's good, and it becomes a flying vigilant creature, so like that part of it's really good, but we didn't win the way we wanted to, so we got to make that happen. All right, up against Adagio, we have all 3 colors. We have Alrund's Epiphany that we can kind of get up to at some point, or discard if we don't need it for a moment. So yeah, we'll try this one out. Get up to see the spoils, Cathartic Pyres for some draw. Let's go Epiphany tapped. Pass the turn. Fateful Absence is nice as well. Doomscar would be really nice now, right about now too. Doomscar would be swell. Do we kill Lotus Cobra now? They have so much ramp with both of those out there. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do it. Down to 18. Opus. Opus is good. People always run Snakeskin Veil. They always run way more than I expect them to, so I'm just debating if I should go ahead and do this now. We know that it's annoying, so we get rid of the things that are annoying. I should have Cathartic Pyre there. I just realized they're going to be playing big, beefy stuff. I need a Cathartic Pyre on the things that can actually die to 3 power. Yeah, there we go. Bad idea. Everything's going wrong now. At least we're hitting our land drops. That's pretty nice. So I can Cathartic Pyre kill a 2/2, force him to have a creature to be able to get to the SS Chariot. I could Allrun's Epiphany, try to get up to multiple turns, seize the spoils, and do that. I could try to dig for board wipe here as well. That might be the better play. So let's go ahead and do that. So discard cards. Opus. This is too far away. Epiphany. We can technically play it before we'll die. And we're holding up 2 mana to be able to use it here. Do I just draw 1? We'll go seize the spoils as well. Yeah. Okay, Foretell here. All right, let's see how this goes. We're not drawing the cards that I imagined we'd draw. I need to be a little bit more aggressive with my drawing. Find the pieces that actually matter at the times they matter. All that kind of stuff. Draws cards, finds more stuff. Old Go Troll, that's a good one. Should have drawn first. All right, how close are we to just, you know, dying? It's pretty dang close, I think. All right, play out the land. Get rid of something. All right, Abrade is pretty good. Abrade is perfect here. Prismari's Command actually is even better. So yeah, pass the turn. Sweet, that was fantastic. Yeah, get to kill SS Chariot and other stuff. So does it stop being a creature? I can't remember. So crew, this eagle becomes an artifact creature. Okay, so it is still an artifact. Storm the Flippin' Festival. Crap. Okay, just 2 lands. Good. Good stuff. That's what we like to see. Perfect. All right. Also what we like to see. All right. 2 damage, destroy artifact. 2 damage, destroy artifact. Then we get to Epiphany on the next turn. Then we get to kill something else. We have blockers for the Old Ghost Troll. Well, I guess it has trample, so it won't do as much for us. But okay, they can draw with the clue here. They don't go for that. Interesting. I feel like this is the time you definitely want to draw. The 1 more point of damage, I guess it adds up, but Down to 9. It's gonna add up. Alrighty, well, what do I need this on? I have plenty of each. Blue. Now I can play Restoration someday. Alright, another turn. Make it awesome. Maniform Hydra, or the Maniform Hellkite with a Braid would be our best. Oh, well, okay then. Oh, I don't have the mana for a Braid. Trats. I got rid of too much red mana. I think I'm holding on to this to try to find a land. Getting a 7/7 will help quite a bit. Oh, okay. Hellkite. We can at least block a lot of stuff now. Pass the turn. Hold on to Seagate Restoration. The Lair of the Hydra is a little bit scary. We have the birds for that, though. Another Chariot. Well, a Braid got better. Lots and lots of stuff, though. All right. We can bring these guys out as blockers, though, when we need to, with a Braid, and hopefully we find some other good thing. We're up to 8 mana. This costs how much now? 10. Down to 5 with a lot of tramply dudes. Yeah, we see no blocks. We set it up for the next turn, the next time they attack. Oh, interesting. That's a good blocker. Yeah, there we go. All right. Faithbound Judge. We got it. Okay, pass the turn. Just stay alive here. That's the most important thing. Let them tap down stuff for Essa's Chariot. They should, at this point, try to go more wide, I think. But I don't think they will. Counters and Vigilance. Okay. That's brutal. It's going to force us to block the Old Growth Troll now. Not using Essa's Chariot. Okay, now they go for it. Wait. Cancel. I have to give him information here, otherwise they'd be able to still attack him with Essa's Chariot and get an extra token, which I don't think we can survive over the next couple turns. Them having the counters there is actually really brutal with the Professor and the Hydra. Attacks with everything. Interesting. All right, so how do we do this? So first off, I need to soak up at least some damage there. Soak up damage here, block here. Force this to die, save a blocker. Is there any way I can keep the Maniform Hellcat alive? Take the 4, go to 1. Oh wait, no, we have to block at least 1 here to keep the damage there as well. Okay, we should go to 1 here. I think I'm doing my math right. Oh, they have 1 more mana. Do they have a Snakeskin Veil? Oh no. Don't let it be so. Wait. Did the cat get in? Did I stop the block? Ah, I stopped blocking the cat? I never blocked the cat. Gosh dang it, I never blocked the flipping cat. The bird was supposed to go there. Oh no, I really wish I could draw cards here to see what else I find. You know, it would be so nice to be able to know if I could actually find anything worthwhile. Okay, well, on to the next one. All right, up against our nemesis, but we can't hold on to this hand. Whew, 2 lands. Pyres to draw stuff and the thing we want to discard anyway, so we can probably find lands here. Try it out. We'll drop a... We'll drop... If we don't find another land, I don't want to get rid of another Pyre. Seize the Spoils is just worse than Prismari, so we'll do that. Hello there. Lands. Beautiful. All right, smashing tapped, pass the turn. Socialite. That's something we actually need to kill. We're gonna throw this out on white. We're actually finding lands. We're finding more ways to get rid of stuff. So pass the turn. They're gonna want to attack here, most likely. So they didn't deal any damage, right? So this won't put any counters onto it, if I remember right. So we can actually do it this way. Let's go ahead and kill this one. Enter the battlefield and control, draw a card. All right, this is the Mentor of the Meek type of style, but you don't have to actually worry about it. White card. I need white mana for Judge. Actually, I think I just play that out now. I can go for Prismari Command, get one in the graveyard, but we have a 4/4 with flying to block against vampires. Good game. I mean, this card has won us games now, but it's not the Sinner's Judgment side that I want to have happen. We're gonna see if they'll play it out. We need our nemesis to just stick around for a couple turns, okay? You just do that, okay? Takes 2. They can probably play out something else now. We get it into the graveyard. That's what we wanted. Now we can play the other one out onto the battlefield and be happy about it. Yeah, another one. This is stuff that you still have to deal with. There's going to be other big threats we need to deal with too. Hopefully we can get those with this stuff. Socialite is something I'm not terribly worried about. Let's just keep drawing drawing cards, taking our time. Let's use Thirst. All right. Kills us. Down to 14. Hellkite. Please tell me you've used all of your removal now. Put this on blue. Okay, up to 5 mana. Prismari Command can help us ramp and hopefully find a land to get to Faith Beyond Judgment. But we have to survive. Surviving is, you know, the first thing we've got to do. Okay, 2 damage. Create a treasure. And now let's see if they use the Predator to sacrifice this in response, get a treasure onto it. In that case, we pyre them. Oh, look at that. You're dead. How about that? All right, we got them out of from Hellkite. It's working out now. Potentially a scoop here. Please don't. Come on. Just let it happen. All right, at least we're winning the way that we're trying to. That's still at least happening right now. All right, land for the Faith on Judgment for the next turn. Come on, land off the top. And I want to see if this will create a 7/7. That's the dream. All right, well, it dies. They gain Opus. Well, we didn't quite get there. Pass the turn. We try to draw another card. We either Opus or Judge or Sinner's Judgment the next turn. Actually, I think we just make the treasure token. Don't even draw cards here. We know we have what we want. Treasure, damage to face. treasure. That's my turn. Holding on to the Magma Opus is the smart way to play. We're not coming here to do smart things. We want to make you lose in 3 turns. Take that, fool! All right, we're doing it. We're doing it. Come on, 3 turns. There's one. Should we do it again? Oh, we don't have enough mana for it. Yeah, we'll just fast turn. Fast turn. I want to hold on to the Opus if I can. Playing out lands is important, though. If they're not putting out threats, then we're in okay shape. 1 turn. All right. 2 turns? Alrund's Epiphany? No. Okay, that's fine. We'll do another one, though. I should put the other one on me, and then I'll lose if they get rid of mine. Are we doing it? I think we're doing it. We're finally getting there. It's gonna happen. Don't you dare scoop before this kills you. Good game. Sacrifice their own creature. And at the upkeep, we get the tokens, we get the counters, and 3rd one, you die! Yes! Woo! Alright. It happened. I finally had the hand, had the gameplay, and someone waited for it. I appreciate you, Nemesis. You are not my nemesis. You're my best friend now. Woo! We got there. It actually worked out. We got the Faithful Judge into the graveyard. We used Sinner's Judgment. It stick around for three turns, and we won the flippin' game. We didn't get to use Alrund's Epiphany to make it work better, all that kind of stuff. So the initial build of this deck had more dragons in it. It had Goldspan Dragon. It had, you know, Prismari, Galzeth Prismari and stuff. That's the right way to play this deck, by the way. I think that's the better way to go. I was using Doomscar instead to kind of make sure we had other stuff, but I think that you take out Doomscars, you just play mid-rangey, get rid of the things in the early game you need to. Prismari Command hits so much stuff, and I think that you just play... I think you can ramp up a little bit easier to get to Epiphanies, get to Opuses, all that kind of stuff in the top end. And I think it makes Manaform Hellcat a little bit better. The Sinner Judgment, I think, is good, and it is a really, really fun way to play this. I'm not sure if it's powerful enough to be competitive, but if you guys want to try it and make it fun, or if there's any way to make it a little bit more consistent, let me know. It might not be as good in this format, but maybe in past formats where there's more turn spells, more whatever, other ways to get into the graveyard cheaper, like Faithless Looting, whatever else, could be better. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, just the fact of, can you get up to 7 mana? Yeah, you can actually ramp up to 7 mana pretty quickly, especially with treasures, especially with all the stuff that draws us cards and all those things. Can you survive for 3 turns? Yeah, there's lots of ways to do that as well. Can you do all of them before you, like, can you make all of those things happen in one game? It's a little bit harder to do. But yeah, it's still fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we are playing an Infinite Life deck here with Ill-Tempered Loner, and really excited about this one. There is so many ways to make this go off as long as we can find Ill-Tempered Loner, which we have shown on the skulls to make that happen anyway, but we'll see how this goes. So 4 mana 3/3, whenever it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. So typically with these kinds of cards, it's okay, we're gonna deal that much damage to the opponent, and you can do a massive like 20 damage spell and all of a sudden kill the opponent right away. Well, with standard right now, we don't have the big massive spell unless you have tons and tons of mana for scheduled smashing. But we do have some pretty cool ways to go infinite life here and actually potentially go infinite damage as well. So Ill-Tempered Loner, 4 mana 3/3, it is dealt damage. It deals that much damage to any target. We target itself as long as it has lifelink and indestructible. It'll be able to deal damage to itself over and over again and gain life as it does so. It won't die because of indestructible. And then we get to gain infinite life, which is typically unbeatable anyway. Like once you have infinite life, most people are trying to deal damage in some way to win the game, and so then it's just a matter of, okay, are they going to, you know, who's going to if they feel like they can hold this off for long enough, then they can maybe go to a who will draw the last card first, but we can typically build up our deck to be able to win no matter what from that point on. And so that is one way to win, is just gain infinite life, put Angel Fire Ignition onto it, find a way to deal damage to it with our Play with Fire, Spikefield Hazards, Magic Missile, Shadow School Smashing, Kabir Takedown, or just having them have to block with it as well. Then we can make sure that it will deal damage to itself, gain infinite life, be awesome. That's one way to do it. We also have Olenbeck Escort, which also gives indestructible and lifelink as long as it has a +1/+1 counter onto it. So we have a few ways of doing that. Showdown of the Scalds, Luminarch Aspirant, and Cleric Class. Whenever we gain life, we'll be able to put a counter onto it, which will then be able to go off and hopefully do okay. So that's kind of the dream. Is the Cleric Class will also work for this. If it also works where if you gain life and put a +1 counter onto the creature. So we do have a couple of spells that will allow us to deal 1 point of damage, which will negate the need to be indestructible. So Spikefield Hazard and Magic Missile are the two, well, and Shadow Skull Smashing, that we can do it for X1. If we can get those onto it and have a Cleric Class leveled up to level 2, we can actually go infinite life immediately just by being able to put a counter onto this every time it's dealt damage and gains life. So we'll put the counter onto it, deal the damage to itself, and gain the life, and we'll be able to go up and up and up until we have infinite life, and it'll be just fine. This will be a massive, massive creature, and will be awesome. And then if we ever have Angel Fire Ignition in the future, we put it onto this thing and it'll be massive as well, and be indestructible with hate, with trample and everything, and win the game. So that's kind of the dream. We have the Cleric Class win, we have the Olenbeck Escort win, we have Angel Fire Ignition win, and then we also just have decent creatures and things throughout the deck here as well, just making sure we go off. Showdown of the Scalds also works. Whenever we cast an extra spell, we put a counter onto it. That's a way to just get a counter onto it to make sure Olenbeck Escort works, but it's also just a way to put counters onto other things and make sure we can hit it. I have Battlefield Raptor in here just as another evasive threat that we can get in through over the top. We have a few other creatures that we can just stack up with Luminarch Aspirant. Angel Fire Ignition, putting 2 counters onto something, is actually a pretty big swing if we can start getting things big enough and just kind of take over the board. So even if we don't fight Ill-Tempered Loner, we still have a decent deck here to try to win with, but we are pretty heavy into spells, and so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so that's the deck. Let's see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. Up against 2 late blue, and this is kind of an awkward hand. We're on the draw and we have 3 mana, which means we can get to Brutal Cathar. And I typically keep a hand that has the ability to have removal, but I think we want to be able to have some more setup here. These are more support cards and helpful cards. No red mana. Can I keep this? Showdown of the Skull should help us find red mana. We have 2 pieces of the combo, so we're going to keep this one. I'm not sure this is better than the last hand. Having more lands is typically better than just having the cards that you need, but we found land, so we're good. Okay, play this out tapped. Pass the turn. We do have to find a way to deal damage to Ill-Tempered Loner as well. So we'll see how that goes. But Luminarch Aspirant, pretty nice. Are we up against rogues? Curse you, rogues. Aspirant. Counter. Pass the turn. Luminarch Aspirant is actually a pretty good counter against the typical... Oh, this is Rogue Male as well. They're playing Crab and such. They're going to flash something in here. All right, well, we will play out Plains and Escort. Counter onto Aspirant. Escort is awesome. That means that we can actually get this to be indestructible right away by putting a counter onto it sooner than later. Pass the turn. Divide by 0. That's fine. We want to get those out of their system. The fewer of bounce effects they have, the better, because that's one way they can actually stop our combo from actually going off. But as is, we're just going to throw out our threats. I'd rather get more damage out in the battlefield than just Luminarch Aspirant right now. Hit in, pass the turn. Even maybe Showdown of the Scalds to try to find a damage dealing spell for Angel Fire Ignition and go off with this. Environmental Sciences. Okay. I mean, they're trying to mill us, so gaining infinite life isn't necessarily what's most important here. Making sure we can deal lots of damage is what's most important right now. So we're not going to go for the combo, because we don't have a way for it to be dealt damage anyway. Pay 2 to get it more damage. All right, so we're going to go Aspirant. I think I'm actually going to put the counter onto Escort here. They're holding on to a Divide by 0, pretty sure. So I'm going to put the counter there. It's a little bit awkward. but I think right now we're fine. Yeah, down to 14. We still are dealing plenty of damage past the turn. Next turn we get to Showdown on the Scalds. Maybe hopefully find the combo. As long as they're holding up mana for Divide by 0, I'm not gonna go off with this. There's also the Faded Hope, I think, another spell we have to worry about. That's my turn. So spreading out the damage as much as possible is the best thing possible. All right, so it just gets a little bit bigger. I wasn't sure what all happened with that. I do want to... I think in general we need... let's see here. Yeah, let's go Showdown on the Scalds. If they want to counter this instead of bounce something, that's fantastic. But this at least lets us have more things to cast, more things to do, dig for the combo kind of. And what we're really looking for, I think, is Cleric class at this point. Okay, that's fine. Put the counter there, spread out the damage, so if they bounce stuff, they're going to have to bounce. Yeah, there we go. So they're still bouncing the biggest thing, but we're still keeping more power on the board here. Down to 10. That's the turn. As long as we can force them to not bounce things with counters, it means we get to maintain a higher value in general. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Oh, wow, that was a lot of cards. Yep. Do they have another one? Okay, not yet. Cleric class. Cleric class is interesting. We can eventually use haste with Angel Fire Ignition as well. So let's go with a loner. I want to see if they want to counter this instead of bouncing something. Next, go to combat, put it onto the escort. We can at least play it back out if they bounce here. Okay, Fading Hope. It's fine. They're eventually going to run out of those spells, and I don't think they're going to be able to mill us out beforehand. If they find a bunch of Tasha's Hideous Laughter, there's a good chance. We have a fairly cheap deck, but we do also have lots of lands that are modal lands, and so that should at least somewhat help. Memory Deluge. Okay, digging for answers. All right, so we have lethal if I use an Angel Fire Ignition. See if they have some sort of response. They do. So there's some sort of bounce spell available. Getting out the Brutal Cathar might be even better, though, just to have something out there that deals damage. This does give haste to things as well. Okay, Cleric class. Yeah, we have 7 damage. All right, I'm going for it. So, Ignition onto Escort. Now if they bounce the cheapest thing, and that's fine. Yep. And this will go to the graveyard. We're fine. We have Flashback with it as well. All good stuffs. Counter there this time. Swing in. Down to 2. Pass the turn. Yeah, with more Angel Fire Ignitions as well, we should be fine. Ooh, that's scary. Oh, there we go. Play fire. Good game. Yep, that'll do it. I had Brutal Cathar with Angel Fire Ignition as well, if we had the mana, but we didn't. So, anyway, there you go. We win the game. All right, we're up against Stank Weasel. And this is where our hand gets a little bit different. We're going to keep this for sure. We have a way to give life an indestructible, a couple ways. But we also have the potential of just kind of going off with this deck and like making Olympic Escort a massive creature, putting counters onto it, having vigilance, and just having it be like a 7/7 with vigilance before too long. We can also just kill a Shambling Ghast with a Spikefield Hazard, which is also a pretty good way to go. That does get rid of one of our red sources, which we just barely drew the loner. All right, we just need to find a red source and life is good. All right, so Aspirant, put the counter on. We'll play out Takedown tapped next turn. As long as they don't have removal now, Olympic Escort could protect Aspirant if we need to, but we'll be fine. I do actually want to keep this takedown if possible. Because it's a way to deal damage to our loner. But we need mana first, so mana first. Escort. Counter here, swing in. I'm assuming they chump. 3 damage is enough to be willing to chump. At the same time, though, I typically don't chump whenever my life's at 20. I just kind of wait for a while, start building up my board, be able to chump things that are bigger later. Here we go. Hello, Stink Weasel. Okay. Down to 17. Pass the turn. Stink Weasel. What you doing? Merchant. Okay. No Snowlands, so not Blood in the Snow. Typically a wedding announcement type of deck, though, is going to have board wipes and the like. So we need to get a counter onto Loner as soon as possible. And then they'll never be able to swing in as long as we have this Olympic Escort out on the battlefield. So life is good. Okay, past my turn. Cleric class is pretty cool too. All right, so we also have Bloodthirsty Adversary into casting Hazard at some point if we need to. Which will work with, yeah, so that's a way to get damage dealt to the loner. Okay, so Ill-Tempered Loner comes out. We get to put a counter onto it with Limerick Aspirant. Then we pass the turn. Now it's protected. Now we just need to top deck a damage dealing spell. Or find the land for a Bloodthirsty Adversary. Yeah, there we go. Game over, man. Game over. We did it. Man, this deck has been drawing fairly well. I like it a lot. So keep this. Escort, Aspirant, Ill-Tempered Loner. And Spikefield Hazard, but we're going to have to probably use it for mana. We'll see. We just drew a land. All right, so get out Escort first. Pass the turn. I like Escort and Luminary Aspirant. Just immediately having a way to protect our Aspirant. I like putting counters onto the Escort is interesting too because it has vigilance, but you're going to sacrifice it at some point. So it's kind of a funky card. All right, that could be a Doomscar, which could be bad. Put this on red. Aspirant, counter onto Escort. We just want damage. Pass the turn. We always try to go for the combo, but we try to win the game first. All right, so could be Saw It Coming, could be a few other things. All right, we found the 4th land, which is nice. So nice. All right, Sundown Pass. Counter onto Aspirant. Now this can't get hit as much. Swing in. I don't think we play anything else out. I mean, those guys will win by themselves pretty soon. It's a pretty quick combo. Okay, divide by 0, sure. Environmental sciences. That makes me think this is saw it coming. Unless they go find planes here. All right, yeah, it saw it coming. All right, so we don't want to play out Ill-Tempered Loner just yet. Although we could go off if we did. All right, how much do we think this is saw it coming? Because if we play out Ill-Tempered Loner, then the next turn we go Aspirant, Spikefield Hazard, and go for the infinite life gain immediately. Which would be awesome. All right, let's go Aspirant. Okay, it was saw it coming. They would counter basically anything there, so that's at least good to know. It's a little bit harder to put a counter onto this loner though. Got a 14. Let's get this tapped. Oh, I already played a land. That's the turn. I should have done that before it. I should have waited to see what I was playing before I played out the untapped land. All right, Goldvader. Cool. Sounds grand. We should be able to get out the loner now. They did have divide by 0. So bounce is still a thing. Bant something or other going on right now. Making this a 4/4 is not a terrible play either. Brutal Cathar is not a terrible play. We're going to go for the combo though. Ill-Tempered Loner. Don't have a counter on it yet though, so is it better to go for Showdown of the Scalds first? I should have played out Kabir Takedown. Oops. I needed mana. No blocks. Turtle Druid. Auron's Epiphany. Alright. Cool, cool. Good for you. Another Cultivator. Huh. Bant turns. Just a little bit of ramp, a little bit of good stuffs, and they probably have a Hullbreaker horror as well. No blocks. 4 mana held up. Alright, so we do have the combo here with Angel Fire Ignition and Spikefield Hazard. So we go for it. Divide by 0 is the annoying thing. Test of Talents. Oh no. Curse you. It also gets to get rid of all of the ones other places as well. Well, that's dumb. Alright, Superior Takedown tapped. Pass the turn. I don't have a counter on this, otherwise I could just go with Olin Black Escort and be fine. Ooh, that stops us from getting counters onto it as well. That's bad. We have Brutal Cathar though. They should go way more aggressive right now. I think they had close to lethal. They had lethal if they swung all in. I would be forced to block something. Down to 5. That's my turn. The Spikefield Hazard. Yeah, we're dead on the next turn, so I have to go Brutal Cathar first. Yep, and that's game. Alright. I mean, I can block with Ill-Tempered Loner and kill something. If I could gain the life as well as one thing, but I think that's just good game. We're dead to Vorinclex. Thinking actually here. So we have to block Vorinclex. We block here. They deal 5. Yeah. So yeah, we're dead. We're dead. If I use double Spikefold Hazard, I think I had a small chance of living there, but it wasn't worth it. Alrighty then. All right, up against Barrel, and yeah, I don't think we can keep this hand. Mulligan that one away. And 3 lands, some good stuffs. Semi-good stuffs. We'll keep this. Keep it, drop one of these fellas. Lead off with Raptor, pass the turn. Raptor's a little bit awkward. I only have 2 of it in the deck, but that is what makes it worthwhile, is getting a Lunar Cast Sprint right away. That's fantastic. And opponent scoops it up. Yeah, that's a pretty hard thing to beat. Okay. Gosh dang it. Like, I want to play our combo. When we keep getting really close to the combo, but people keep scooping because they're doofuses. All right, up against Poke, and we'll keep this one. Sundown Pass go, pass the turn. Cleric class, pass the turn. We have 0 creatures, so this is a little bit awkward. Voice of the Blessed, but we do have the ability to kill that right away, so that's nice. Definitely do that. All right, nice. So I think we need to be able to deal damage to our own guys at some point. We're still going to play this out tapped. We need the 4 lands first. Pass the turn. Righteous of Valkyrie. That's something we can't kill with Play with Fire. But that's nice. All right, so yeah, Ill-Tempered Loner, and hopefully it doesn't die. Pass the turn. I would love to be able to get this Cleric class first before we lose this Ill-Tempered Loner, because then I could actually have a big massive dude and win in 1 turn. Voice of the Blessed. All right, so I think we need to go for it. We have the combo, we'll do the combo. All right, so put that there. Attack in. Gain the life, gain an extra life there, and then play with fire. If I have to put the yes on that every single time, that's going to be really annoying. Okay, yeah, whatever. All right, infinite life against the life deck. Sounds good. Seems to feel right, you know? Not too shabby. All right. So yeah, keep gaining 3 life every time. This is a little bit of a hard matchup because we technically have infinite life. Who drew the first card? So we actually are winning on the draw as well here. And so they should scoop. It's kind of rude for them to not be scooping here. Wait. I can't say good game here because this is going, so all right, well, keep going. Eventually I'll have to not be able to not take the other thing. So this is one of those things where it's like if we were in paper, we would immediately win. Because they can't beat infinite life with this deck. Wait. Can't resolve. Why am I in full control mode now? That's dumb. Game. So we have the infinite combo. This is game over for them, but because it's on arena, it won't work out. So we have other ways to do this. So it'll be fine. So deal damage to them. That's fine. I'm fine with this much life right now. Pass the turn. We have Olympic Escort and leveling up the cleric class will also work out pretty well for us. They're doing the same combo. Angel Fire Ignition, attacks in, cool. I mean, I needed to get to like 1,000 life for it to be worthwhile here. And unfortunately, Arena is just too slow for that kind of thing. It's really annoying, but that helped a lot. So we have to level this up to really go off with this. Because now we have the win on the next turn. So pass the turn. It's fine. As long as they don't have removal here, life is fantastic. If they have removal, then they're just doofuses for not scooping and very rude. Played Historian. Cool, cool, cool. Doesn't really matter. Yep, down to 112. All right. So now that we get the counter onto it as well, Angel Fire Ignition, Spikefield Hazard. Now we have the trample on it as well. Yes, here we go. It is game over. There we go. Opponent finally skipped up. So that's the value of cleric class, because there are some people that, because we're on arena, just getting infinite life doesn't necessarily mean that you're winning the game, because especially if you're getting the life one at a time, you're gonna end up timing yourself out or doing the same action too many times that it draws the game before people scoop sometimes, which is dumb. The typical good manners thing to do is scoop as soon as someone has an infinite combo, because in normal paper Magic you would be able to win. I wish that there was a way for Arena to kind of recognize like there's an infinite loop here or something like that. That seems really hard for it to do, but we did do it and it was awesome. Sweet stuff. Man, I've been on a run with 80% win rate decks, or at least I've typically been playing 5 games, and I've been winning 4 out of the 5 games almost consistently lately. Of course, I'm playing in free play, playing in places where it's not as competitive for sure, but still, the whole point is to find good decks that are fun and interesting. And typically, if you have like this kind of rate here, it means that it's at least a higher win percentage deck than a non-higher percentage win deck, you know, especially being on the draw and winning 66% is fantastic. I like the deck because it has inevitability built in through damage dealing as well as through the combo. So and we can go either way pretty easily. Angel Fire Ignition is just a good card anyway. We have a bunch of damage dealing spells, which aren't always good because there's some things with big butts, but we can still remove a lot of the early game stuff to set up a place where our board is going to be better than theirs, especially with aspirants and whatever else to kind of go off with things. Showdown of the Scalds, we never really got to play, which was a little bit awkward because the hard part with Showdown of the Scalds is it's another 4-mana spell. And with Ill-Tempered Loner, we typically were needing to get that out to put the pressure on of getting the combo going off. But Showdown of the Scalds was kind of the piece that we are needing other times. But I think that having this in an opening hand with things like Aspirant and Olympic Escort or whatever else would allow you to be able to keep the hand and go to the point of finding the Ill-Tempered Loner. We just happen to find this basically every game, which is not typical. This is our other 3 copies of trying to find it or find other things that are worthwhile and or start digging deeper. And so that'll come in handy more often than it showed in this video. But yeah, so anyway, I like the deck. I actually like the numbers on most things. The question is how much do we go more towards trying to have a good early game, or do we go more for trying to draw cards and get to Ill-Tempered Loner, or for more protection, or for whatever else? And I think we needed more card draw than what we have here. We found it every time, but that was luck, like I was saying. So typically we'd need other stuff, but we were able to put on a lot of pressure and still win games just by having Aspirant, Raptor, whatever else. You know, even Cleric class is pretty nice if we can find ways to start getting life. But we didn't have that many ways to gain life, so this becomes awkward. The real reason I liked it is because we could return something from the graveyard once we level it up as well. So we can bring back a loner, we can bring back, you know, whatever we found as well. So like Cleric class just fit really well with everything. So anyway, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. What do we need to do to fix this deck to make it even more consistent and better? I like what I have here, but I don't think the numbers are quite right with everything. And I think that it can shift to be a little bit better. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.